Guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are talking about bank statements. So if you are interested in this video, then make sure you keep on watching. Also, I want to let you guys know that I now post on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. So make sure you turn on your notification bell so you do not miss when I post another video. So let's get into bank statements. I have been getting a lot of questions about bank statements. And to be honest, bank statements is not that hard to understand. Basically, your mortgage counselor is requesting your bank statements because they want to see how your spending habits are. They want to see if you have any unknown activities that you are not disclosing to your mortgage counselor. As you go through the Naca process and attending your appointments to meet with your mortgage counselor is going to be requesting from you 60 to 90 days worth of bank statements. What they are going to be looking for is the amount of money that you are bringing in from your job every 2 weeks, every week, or monthly. However you are paid, that's what they're going to be looking at. They are also going to be looking at any deposits, any withdrawals. And when I say withdrawals and deposits, they want to see if you are withdrawing large amounts of money or depositing large amounts of money. Because if you are withdrawing large amounts of money and also depositing, then they're going to ask you to write a letter of explanation explaining what this withdrawal was for or what this deposit was for. Because anything that is over most likely $100, they are going to be asking you to write a letter of explanation. So if it's $50, I wouldn't even wait. I would just go ahead and write a letter of explanation stating that you took $50 out because you just wanted to go get your hair done or whatever the case is. So they are looking at those bank statements because there are things that we don't know that they are looking for, and they will tell you once you submit those bank statements to them. What we have to understand is our bank statements reflect our lifestyle. So if you are out of control in your spending habits, your mortgage counselor will definitely see that on your bank statements. If you are purchasing $1,500 purses, if you are purchasing $250 pairs of shoes back to back to back, they are going to say that you are not ready to buy a home because your spending habits are out of control. So they are going to let you know straight up, hey, you need to reel yourself back in, and if you really want this house, you're going to have to learn how to save your money. Budgeting is so important in Naca because they want to know that you are going to be able to save your money. They want to know that you are going to be able to save your money when you buy your home, and they want to make sure that you are going to be able to budget your money after you close on your home. It's not just while you are going through the motions of becoming Naca qualified to get to that finish line to say, I signed those papers, I closed on my home, but it's for long-term purposes because you need to know how to budget your money and to save your money, because if you have an expense that comes up and you don't have the money, you may fall short on your mortgage because now you're having to pull from your money to pay your mortgage. So you need to make sure that your spending habits are in control and not out of control. Another thing that your mortgage counselor will be looking for is anything that you have not disclosed to your mortgage counselor. And I'm just going to be transparent with y'all. I have already said this once before, but I'm not going to say where the debt came from. But I will say that it was a debt that I did not disclose to my mortgage counselor because I didn't think it was necessary. I had a specific amount that I needed to pay on, and I was making payments, and I had a payment arrangement with this company. And my mortgage counselor saw it on my bank statement. So basically, she saw a payment that was made to this specific company. So when she saw it, she was like, what is this? And I was like, what do you mean, what is this? And so I had to explain what it was. And basically, she told me that if the debt was not paid in full, I would have to wait until the debt was paid off in order to become Naca qualified. Y'all, I was about to lose my mind in that office the day that she told me that, because we were so close to having our file submitted to the underwriter to become Naca qualified, to sign the bank application. And when she told us that, I was like, no, we leaving, because I'm not going to put in any more work if you are going to tell me this at this given moment. But I had to pump my brakes and I had to think about it. And I was like, do you really want to move into a house with this debt hanging over your head? And so my husband and I talked about it. We took a chunk out of our savings account and we paid the debt in full. And it didn't really hurt our savings account, but we could have used that money to buy down our interest rate even more. But we decided, hey, it's better to come into our house rather than having that debt hanging over our head. And so I'm so glad that we decided to go ahead and pay it in full because we don't have to deal with it. So some other things that your mortgage counselor will be looking at is deposits and withdrawals. Like I said before, if you make any large withdrawals or deposits, please make sure you are prepared to write a letter of explanation explaining the reason and where those withdrawals and deposits are coming from and what they are for, because you would definitely be questioned as to where the deposits came from and who they are coming from. Now, it's okay if you are receiving contributions or gifts from a friend or family member to assist you in the home purchase. That's totally fine, but you will have to get that friend or family member to write a letter of explanation stating that they give you a certain amount per week or per month and towards the purchase of your home. So like I said before, your mortgage counselor is basically scanning your bank statements to try to capture an overall picture of your lifestyle. They want to make sure that you are not spending too much money, because how are you going to buy a home and save up for a home if you're spending all your money? You can't just rely on income tax and a stimulus check to put back into the account and say, hey, I got $3,500 now, but before the stimulus money and before the tax money, you had $50. You can't do that. You have to consistently save your money, because you will be required to have a payment shock, and that payment shock will tell you how much you're going to be required to save every month. If you cannot afford to save your payment shock, then you are not ready to buy a house, because your payment shock is going to be based off your income and your debt. So if you are not ready, or if you are struggling to save your payment shock, then you have to reevaluate your expenses, your spending habits, and you have to budget your money. You have to come up with a plan and you have to execute that plan, because if not, you are not going to get into a house. But I am keeping it real with y'all, and I had to do the same thing. I had to come back to reality and I had to say, look, Tasha, you cannot spend your money on unnecessary things if you really want this house. And I did it, and I know that you guys can do it as well. Another thing I want to tell you guys, because I went through the same thing, and you know, I only tell you guys and share things with you based off my personal experience going through the Naca program. So I also want to let you guys know that when you are ready to meet with your mortgage counselor and you submit your bank statements to the mortgage counselor, whether it be in person or if you decide to drop them off, which I don't think you can, but when you meet with your mortgage counselor, if you can meet with them face to face and you have your bank statements with you, please do not alter them in any kind of way. My mortgage counselor cringed when she got my bank statements, because I am so organized. I was stapling my bank statements, because you know, sometimes you might have 15 to 20 pages worth of bank statements for 1 month. And I just didn't want anything to get misplaced. So I stapled my bank statements, and she told me, she said, please do not staple your bank statements. I was like, okay. I highlighted some things on there, and she was like, please do not highlight. I was like, okay. And then she was just so nitpicky about every little thing when it came down to the bank statement. So heads up, do not staple your bank statements. Do not highlight your bank statements. Do not alter them in any kind of way. Submit them as if you just printed them and they are freshly off the printer. That's how you should submit your bank statements to them. They do not want to see any type of writing on the bank statements, explaining anything, because you will have to explain separate from the bank statements. But they want to see the bank statements as they are printed straight from the computer. So just a warning, if you are highlighting things in your bank statements, if you are stapling your papers together, do not do that, because it's just going to slow them down from scanning through, because they know they have so many papers to go through, and it just slows down the process of them going through and scanning your documents. So yeah, my mortgage counselor cringed, but I learned after the first time though. When she told me the first time, I made sure I didn't put any staples in my bank statements, and I didn't highlight anything. You know, we don't know a lot of that stuff until they tell us, and so I only was doing what I thought was right and helpful. And so now I'm sharing with you guys. So if you are meeting with your counselor face to face, do not staple your bank statements, do not highlight anything, and do not write on your bank statements. Just leave it up to your mortgage counselor to tell you if there is something missing or if there is something in addition to the bank statements that they need. And y'all, the bank statements information is in your Naca workbook. So if you refer back to your Naca workbook, it will tell you everything in there in regards to bank statements and the review process. It would tell you how your mortgage counselor is trying to capture an overall picture of your lifestyle. It is telling you how your mortgage counselor needs to see if you have any unknown debts, any unknown deposits, withdrawals. It tells you all of that information. So if you ever have any questions in regards to your bank statements, you can always send me a message here on YouTube in the comments below, but you can also refer back to your Naca workbook, because all of the information is in that book. And if you don't have a physical copy of it, you can always go online and you can always print it out, and that will be your Naca Bible, and you will be able to reference it anytime that you need to. But I am always here for you guys. If you have any other questions, you can leave them down below. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below letting me know if you enjoyed this video and what video I should make next. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.